Hi, I'm FullMoonBeaver and welcome to Beavercraft.
Look how my mind plays.
Little bit of fame, little bit of hate, little bit of change. Watch the craze, keep it sane, don't fade away.
Look how my mind plays. Little bit of fame, little bit of hate, little bit of change. Watch the craze, keep it sane, don't fade away.
Look how my mind plays.
This is the entrance to my fortress. Started about 9 months ago, and one of the first things I put in was this quite large entryway with a door I thought I'd leave slightly open, and it's a nice open area. I think it is anyway. And immediately to your left, we've got a world map on the wall, so you can see what the world looks like. And so if you just look at the map here, you can see just above the middle, you can see just how big the build is on the world map. To the right of it, I've got the Wall of Fame with everybody's gamer tag who's taken part in it. Not as many as I'd have liked, but with all these new games coming out, people tend to jump on them more often than not. And just behind this here, we've got the base of my tower, which has been built up to the maximum build height of 256, which was completed over the period of 3 days, and it's insanely tall from down here. But most of this was built around it, and there's a lot of work on the walls because this was inside a crater, inside an extreme hill. So most of it was pretty easy to build because it was just up against flat walls, really. And it wasn't until I got up to the upper levels where it got difficult, as I had to remove quite a few pieces of mountain to put the smaller towers, like the one at the front here, which there was a massive mountain which went over to where that house on the hill is over there, and the mountain spanned right across here, and I had to knock it all down with a lot of TNT to get all of this tower here in, and this bridge over the entrance at the front. So that was quite a bit of work, to be honest. And this walkway here is a recent addition. The other walkways I put in at the same time as the large tower, and I spent most of my time doing the work at the front end of the fortress, and it's only in the last few months that it's really taken shape towards the back, so it's just expanding. Come up here, I've got these walls here that took quite a bit of effort to make, because they're like a 3D sort of look. And this was actually built on top of the extreme hill here. It was just deciding what to put on there. I had several ideas at first, and they didn't really take shape until I built walkways around on the perimeter of it, and I've put a building on top. I still haven't decorated the interior yet, but there will be something going in there at some point. I just don't have a tendency to put interiors in buildings so much. I've been trying to recruit some people to come and do that for me. So that's not one of my strong points. So I like making decorative builds, but I just don't seem to find the time to actually put stuff inside them. So I've had quite a few people ask me to do the interior of this tower. It's just there for show. There's nothing that there's no way of getting inside it. Although it'd be quite impressive if I could pull it off, but like I say, it's not my strong point. I do like making large builds, and that's as far as it goes, really. I don't tend to do the interiors too well. This house here is something I'm particularly proud of, because most of my houses turn out just to be rectangular in shape. There are 2 floors on it, and that's a lot, but I've gone for something completely different here. The different levels, bits jutting out here and there. And it was something I just did on the fly, really. Just made it up as I went along. And there's an interior in here, but I didn't do the interior. It was a Crazy Lizard who came on last night and did it for me. Yeah, he decided a dining room in here would fit quite nicely. We've got the tables, some placemats, chairs, and most importantly, we've got cake. And then just off to the side here, he's put in a kitchen for me, which I was quite impressed with. Never thought of adding that in. And over by the stairs here, he's put a little study area in with an enchantment table. It's just little things like that that can really set a building out, rather than just sticking a bunch of chests inside it. And up here, we've made a few bedrooms. There's 3 of them. We've got a little balcony here with a little telescope, which is a nice little addition. But obviously, considering the size of the blocks we use, it's hard to get something that looks that realistic. So it's a case of use your imagination. And I've got a similar one just over there in the distance, which was completed last night, but there's no interior into that one just yet. So there's no interior, but there's a definite shape about it. And over here, I've built a library. Just something that I made up on the go. I just built a huge building and then decided a library would fit quite nicely there. I have done the ground floor. The 2 rooms either side on the way in don't have anything in yet, and the upper level still needs to be finished. But it's quite large. I mean, I've made this world in creative. Could have probably done it in survival, but it would have taken forever, to be quite honest. And I've got some more to show you just outside to the right as we leave. I've been busy making a walkway up the west side of the fortress, which is actually outside the fortress. I've got some big plans ahead of me there. And as you come over here, you can see all the covered walkways, along with one very large bridge and the outer walls to the fortress. I've had to remove quite a large mountain at the front end where the triple archway is. That was quite a job. That took most of one evening to do, and I actually made a proper arched bridge as well, because I thought it would look better than just putting a flat platform. It was quite a bit of trial and error to get the arches just right. And in the middle there, where that big oval is, there's going to be some buildings there, because they're going to be acting as kind of like a shop to get weapons and stuff. Because beyond that, I'm going to be building a big like a battle arena, coliseum type thing. But I haven't decided on the design just yet. There's still quite a few projects that haven't been finished. I tend to just flick between them as and when an idea comes into my head. I do find it difficult to stick to one for any length of time. And over here, there's a build I've just started. I've got an idea of putting in a palace just there, and then in the little quarter sections either side there's going to be towers, which will only be accessible by walkways which come out from either side of the palace, and it goes all the way around the back quite a distance, and I'm going to wrap the walls all the way around eventually, so it'll be completely encased. The whole build will, but it's going to take some time because there's a lot of land to flatten out. What I did, actually, I thought, just one plain wall is going to look boring. So I like to include several different blocks to make the build stand out and have a bit of character about it. And I think that in this texture pack, which is the steampunk texture, the cobblestone and the stone brick go quite well together. And so I did one strip of the cobble build, and then I did 3 of the stone brick, and then another cobble. And I thought, that they're not too far apart from each other, the cobble lines, and they're not too close together. And to be able to replicate the pattern as you build, and it's quite easy. And it still looks fairly intricate, but it's not like too in your face. It doesn't take away from anything else that you can see. And obviously I've put glowstone in, so when nightfall comes, the whole place lights up, and you can see it from quite a distance, and it's actually quite pretty to look at. So the major problem for me is like when I come to a mountain and I have to take that down before I can continue, because that just takes a lot of work. But I think at the end of the day, it's worth it. I've put a lot of time into this world. I started it as soon as the Xbox One edition of Minecraft released. I had no idea what I was going to build. I just found this seed. I thought it would look good to build where I found this huge extreme hill, which had like a crater in the middle. I thought, I could build something in here, and it's just gone from there. And I've just tried to build as big as I can, and it's impressed a lot of people, and I just plan to keep going with it. Really, there's a lot to look at. Sometimes I just like to go around the world and just look at what I've made. I never thought I'd get to this sort of level of builds, because when it first came out, I think the best thing I could do was a little square wooden hut where I'd chuck a bed and some chests in and a furnace and a crafting table, and I was happy with that. But I just tried different things. Now I'm used to Minecraft, and after watching plenty of YouTube videos of people's huge builds, because there's some fantastic builds out there, have inspired me to create what I've made here. It's nice to be able to build something unique. There's a lot of people who build things that exist in real life, which, to be honest, look really good. But for me, I'd rather build something unique rather than try and copy something, because I know I'd end up making a mess of it and it just wouldn't look as good. But that's my personal choice. It's not something I'm going to pick faults with someone for doing that. It's just, I don't think I could, say build the Eiffel Tower. I'd probably make it look nothing like it. I'd say back here hasn't seen much work. I've got a nice little campfire and some seats here that were put in. I decided not to build around it too much, so obviously I want it to feel like a chill out area. But back here with the walls down here, I've put them in as a decorative thing, really, so we can move on past this to other areas of the map. And I do have bits in here which I haven't thought ahead of making any ways in, other than this little balcony here. But it's going to be well, that bit in there is going to be a kitchen, and then the other windows along the side are going to be like hotel rooms. But I've just got to find a way of making an entrance in there at the minute. I've got some ideas of what I'll do, but I haven't had a chance to implement them at the moment. My former regular builder, he sadly no longer has Xbox Live Gold subscription, so he hasn't been on in quite a while. But he has quite a thing for upside down houses, and to be honest, I'd love him to come on and build a really big one, because that would look quite impressive, to be honest. But yeah, it took me by surprise, because I never thought of anything like that, to be, in all fairness. It was quite a shock, because he just said, "Yeah, what do you think of my house?" And I'm like looking at it thinking, is that meant to be upside down? It's not something I've ever seen before, and probably people have done it, but it's nothing that I've ever seen in any videos of Minecraft on YouTube. Well, this isn't one of my builds. It's from the lad who builds the upside down houses. And yeah, I don't know what he's built. I don't think I've been in here before, to be honest. It's a blacksmith's, apparently, according to that sign. And he's got a tree and a waterfall in here so far, and some fenced up lava falls and waterfalls. But yeah, there's going to be plenty more builds being put on here. It's just getting the time to do them and getting the people on to help. So yeah, it's definitely going to be expanded, and obviously the castle walls will fully envelop the build. But it's going to take some time, because obviously the size that it is now, it's going to take quite a few blocks. I've always wondered, how many are actually on the world now that I've put in. And I'd say it's 9.5 months of work. I've had a couple of breaks from Minecraft, but on the whole, this is just like 9.5 months of unbelievable amount of work. That's I've never poured this much into a world before. I usually get bored and disappointed with what I've built, and then I start a new world. So this has been something I've dedicated more time in any world than ever before, and I don't think I could start another creative world now, because it would mean abandoning this one. Yeah, people are always welcome to come in and join. If they want to build, they can build, or if they just fancy clearing land to help me expand my builds, like my friend in here today, then yeah, they're more than welcome to. Alright, yeah, so if anyone wants to contact me, my gamer tag is on the screen right now. Just message me on Xbox Live.
Look how my mind plays.
Little bit of fame, little bit of hate, little bit of change. Watch the craze, keep it sane, don't fade away.
Look how my mind plays. Little bit of fame, little bit of hate.